No, aloha everyone. Joshua Hayes at bigwavetrading.com. I hope you all had a great week. I tell you what, a lot of emotions this week, a lot of volatile price action. That being said, I basically took only 2 trades this week. Both were profitable. Hopefully, I'll remember them before we get into this video lesson, but I want to we'll go and just discuss one, the main one. So, Friday night into Monday morning, huge gap down, right? Huge gap down. I came into my chat room on Sunday night and I let everybody know in the chat room before the market opened I was buying QQQ, SPY, and SMH in all of my long term accounts. Was it an all in the remaining cash balance that's in these accounts? No, but it was still a good sized position. That being said, it's just an addition to my positions that I have in these long term accounts that have a minimum 5 to 20-year hold. I don't care if the market sells off more, I'm buying more. If you just look at the SMH, where do you think my next round of buying is going to be on the way down? And then once we find a bottom and come back up, where do you think then I'm calling a large amount on, and then a bigger amount, and then hopefully we'll be all in basically all of these accounts for the QT to QE switch. The 2022 bottom, review the video lessons. I said SPY 350 was my ultimate target. I wish it wouldn't have happened just in one intraday session. I wish it would have closed below 350 and then reclaimed 350, as it would have made this entire QT uptrend much easier to handle. That being said, 2024 has been very volatile, choppy. A lot of swing traders are getting chopped up, including me, but it's expected on my end. It's a quantitative tightening tape. And a quantitative easing tape, that's whenever I have super high conviction on my setups and trades where I will go heavy and expect them to work right away. Now, luckily, right before this sell off happened, we had a lot of decent signals that produced very strong gains. CRBP off the 50 with that volume truncation in a short period of time, you get a 33% move before it gets choppy. Before APEI fails from this volume truncation day to this high, you have a 17% gain in a short amount of time. And one of the best signals, but sadly it doesn't come from the most ideal entry point, PRAX in a little under 1 month, 40% gain. And this is in a quantitative tightening market where there's bifurcation going on, where one index, the QQQ, isn't keeping up with the IWM. That being said, I got a pretty good signal tonight. It's what I would consider a grade A quality signal in a market where we were quantitative easing, had a good, every index was moving higher in lockstep, and we had a good uptrend. That being said, I am going to increase size. I'm going to push it. Now, getting back to the market before we review the one trade that I took yesterday that produced 12% from its red to green move, I want to make note that so far we have a V-shaped bounce. I told you guys I'm looking for my oversold long signal. We'll review that in the telechart version 23 charts. But for right now, we're doing it again, guys. The alligator mouth, where the top jaw opens, the lower jaw drops, and then we clamp down with big scary teeth, and then that closes. Well, here we go in the short term. The upper jaw opening, the lower jaw dropping. Is it going to clamp down again? We'll find out. We're right at the previous breakout line that acted as support. It's now acting as resistance, and you'll start to see that it's like this on a lot of other indices. Now the SPY is above that line, that horizontal line, but it's coming up on downtrending 21 EMA moving averages, which you'll see in telechart version 23, and the 50 SMA is now rolling over. So it's now technically downtrending. Caution is advised. More importantly, though, the IWM on that another fake out breakout, followed by another fake out breakout, We're now still well below that breakout level, and we're finding resistance right at the 50 SMA. And the same thing's happening. That jawline is opening up, wanting it to clamp. Now, I want to move off the telechart version 7 charts, but I want to show you the one long trade that I took was UPST. I crudely just went long above the high of the day, 35.30. I took profits today around 37, and I sold some more after hours. I believe it was at 36.29. I'll sell some more at the market, hoping, don't really care, but for a gap up on Monday morning. Final stop is now here. So right now, one final stop here. But whatever Monday's low a day is, if it's like somewhere within this candle range, it'll be 50-50 on the remaining position. But I want to lock in gains and ensure that basically on this trade, I don't leave with a loss. Now, why was it a new long signal? Inside hammer candle from the day before. So on this day right here, it was an earnings winner. They beat on the top and bottom line, price target, and an upgrade, and they raised guidance. Also, the only earnings winner on my scanner that basically looks for small caps, low float stocks. It sometimes gets an earnings winner here and there that makes a scan. UPST was the only one. Notice how it did that. So that was in the morning whenever it opened up at 30 and then went to 36 on that day. So then the next day I have an inside hammer candle session. I still have that max screen BOP indicator on the bottom. I have heavier volume, well above average, and it followed through today. Now, if you did my trade that I recommended everybody to do, you would wait till after the stock open, dips below the closing price 34.21, and when it reclaims 34.21, you get long the red to green move. Had you done that to the high of the day, that's a 12% gain in one day. That was the only swing trade given out all week long. So we don't have a lot of signals right now. I bring that up because I do have a good signal this evening in WT, but it's Wisdom Tree. It's a financial service asset management company. It does sport a 96 composite rating, 95 EPS rating, 93 relative strength rating. According to Market Surge, earnings grew 78% in the most recent quarter, and sales grew 25% in the most recent quarter. Those are excellent numbers. On top of that, no red bop on this Zoom 4 chart, this Zoom 3 chart, or this Zoom 2 chart. So I'm going to get long WT above the high of the day, calculating my size and risking to this low. And guys, in a hot market, in a great market, you could calculate with just one R. I bet you I could get 35 to 40% of my capital to work in this one signal. And then if it starts to work, just have a break even stop. And if it doesn't work, I'm out with no losses, $0 lost. And if it works, make a lot of money. That's how I like to play these. In this tape, during the month of August, where we have the whole month of September to deal with, yes, I will increase size. Yes, I'll be quick with the stops. But if it fails, will I be upset, do you think? Do you think I'm going to be shocked if it triggers, fills, and then maybe fails? I'll be a little shocked because this stock is kind of a slow moving stock. It doesn't really have that. But I mean, it can get volatile. It can get choppy. There was news regarding a weird kind of convertible reshare purchase program behind the move. So it's not like it was, great news. I've seen this before, but it's a pretty good chart. We'll see if it works. But if it doesn't work, I won't be shocked. I hate that it's under $10. That being said, it's a New York Stock Exchange stock, and I believe it averages 11 million shares per day. So it's extremely liquid. That's why we're going to post it here. Now, getting back to that red to green move on UPST, there you go. There's your 12% move. And that actually happened in 1 hour and a half. So pretty impressive. But I want to go back to the daily charts. Look at these charts, IWC. You can see these are all anywhere from the 9 EMA, 21 EMA, 50 EMA, SMA, 100, 150 SMA, the 200 EMA, the 500 EMA, the 200 SMA. Look at where price is in relation to all of that, including that horizontal line. There's so much resistance to get through. Even if you think that we've bottomed, There's got a lot of fucking work that's going to have to be done, guys. A lot. I'm sorry. Especially with it being August. Yeah, if we've bottomed, it's August. I'm sorry, guys. I the odds that we're going to have a September rally is something like 30%. 70% of the time, you're either lower, you chop, or you're barely higher. So, and it's well over that. It's like around 75% according to my statistics. I actually need to go look it up again. But September is historically always a bearish month. And if it's not bearish, it's barely bullish. So we're looking at some major headwinds, seasonality wise and price wise. On top of that, with the IWC, I know it looks psychotic when you look at this chart, but to me, I simplify it. Red means no go, no go, no go, no go, and TTM trend momentum still down. That's it. Okay, don't need to psychoanalyze this action. Look at the software names. Hey, at least we got a curl here. We were oversold and we've come out of it. That being said, you're still triple red. You still got all this overhead resistance with these moving average lines and this key horizontal line. Could it be a bottom? Sure. We're going to need to chop around a lot. QQQ. Hey, we got the slingshot going, so we're not, going down as much. We did go oversold, back out of it. But that being said, did I get my signal? No. I didn't get my oversold, back out of oversold hammer candle off the low. Then the slingshot happens, confirming that everything's good. Now you're green. I didn't get it here. Just this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for this, but I want us to be oversold, so this doesn't count. But here, you get oversold. You come out of oversold off this hammer. You also happen to have TTM trend momentum curl change the very next day, confirming it. That's how you know you're in the driver's seat. This time around, when we went from oversold, still oversold, still oversold. Oh, now we're out of oversold. Look at where we're at compared to the lows. This isn't a hammer candle right off the low. So on the swing side, I can't take a huge position in TQQQ, SPXL, S or QRTY. I can't do it. I can't get heavy in any of these without legit signals with proper price action. I don't FOMO. I don't chase. It's never advised. So without a hammer from the oversold out of the oversold condition, there is no trade. I just bide my time. I don't FOMO. I don't chase. I wait patiently for my setup, and it's not here. So I just wait. ARC, ugly, horrible. At least we have a slingshot here after coming out of the oversold territory, but everything's overhead resistance. Literally everything. The horizontal line, all of the moving averages. There's nothing to do here, guys. But on that Monday panic, could you have bought some in a long-term portfolio? Absolutely. SPY, similar situation. There's all your overhead moving averages. So you are above the horizontal line. You're above the 150, 200, 500 EMAs. But there's a lot of short-term overhead resistance, including what was the previous support level. That looms as another level. I might as well draw a line there, because it's just obvious to me. I just see it here, and it lines up with that gap up fill. So a SPY, FFTY, nasty, below all of the moving averages and that horizontal line, and you're triple red, 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 triple red. Is this a time to be a hero? No. Am I still hunting for new long signals? You better believe it. And that's what this scan is for. This is looking for leading stocks that have sales growth. Let's just show you what the scan looks for. See all these things here. You can read them on your own. Pause the video lesson if you need to. But that's what it's looking for. But the most important thing is to have sales growth over 30%. And that leaves us with only these stocks. You will see that they're all leaders. Right now, the leader is OKE with a 99 composite rating because the sector that it's in is strong. So on a weekly chart, you'll see they're in squeezes. App, squeeze, 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 squeeze. So that's why they're all in this chart. Now, what you do is you want to put a buy stop above the high of the day of the base, but you only want to do it once it's building a right side. APP, when you look at the daily chart, it's coming off the lows, not forming a right side. OKE, on the other hand, is formed a right side, but it's an immediate double bottom V ramp up to the highs. That being said, it's still legit and good to go. I need to see this pull just a little bit more, get closer to the 5,200. Then I'll draw a downtrend line connecting these highs, and my buy stop goes above the high. And in this tape, will I be upset if OKE fails? Absolutely not. It's August. It's freaking August. 4. This is the only one that has sales growth, earnings growth at 30%, beat on the top and bottom line and raised guidance. So I think everything else, all of these have missed on either the top or bottom line, and or there's another metric that I follow going against it. Like 4 actually has a metric going against it. It doesn't have a composite rating of 90. I think its composite rating is only 70. But it is in a weekly squeeze. So I just want to show with the 30%. If you got to look at everything, app doesn't even qualify. I believe that the sales missed. So app technically doesn't qualify. OKE technically doesn't qualify. 4 technically qualifies, well off the highs. But you guys see, I'm still watching. I'm still keeping a list. YPF needs to get closer to the previous highs, but it's here, so I'm watching. FANG needs to get close to the previous highs, but I'm watching. PLMR is an insurance stock. Nasty day today. Not quite sure what happened because this was the earnings date, so I got to look into it. But this is in that consolidation anyway. It's wedging higher. NTRS needs to get closer to the right side up here.